Hi, I'm John, and you've found the Marry Your Best Friend podcast. And we're going to see how this is going. I'm sitting next to my beautiful wife of 33 years, Suzanne. And Suzanne, we have launched a podcast.
Wow, I don't even know what to say.
Well, there's only 2 million people that have their own podcast. And I've already determined that pretty much nobody's going to listen to us.
That's all right. I'll listen to you.
Well, you do have one fan. We already determined that we have one person who said that she would listen. So we're going to do all of this for one fan. And actually, we've been married 33 years. We have...
Married 33 years together.
Probably about 10 days, but...
37.
We've been together 37 years, but...
It's a long time.
It is a long time. But anyway, we're doing this basically to be with each other. I don't care if anybody listens to it or not, but it's kind of fun to do something together. Your birthday's coming up in a few days.
Oh, thanks for the reminder.
And you're welcome. And this podcast equipment that we purchased for this tonight, these fancy microphones and these fancy headphones.
Oy vey.
This is actually your birthday present. And my birthday's this month too, so I thought we'd do something fun together and actually record a podcast. So we'll see how it goes.
So glad you asked for my input on what I wanted for my birthday. Was for people to delve into our personal lives.
Well, first off,
gee, thanks.
You've already ordered your own birthday presents, correct?
No.
How many birthday presents did you send me that you said that you wanted me to buy?
Well, have you purchased?
Yes, I purchased. Yes. When you send me a text.
You have purchased
You know that
the
one thing
things
is
that
coming.
I sent. What one thing?
The pair of boots.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
Okay. Well, it's your birthday.
If you didn't buy them, I was going to buy them, so it didn't really matter.
Okay. Well, then you ruin your birthday because you're already doing your own shopping. I mean, yesterday we're at dinner and the friends we're with said, "Oh, let me see your new bracelet." And I didn't know you had a new bracelet.
I did have a new bracelet, and I'm very sad this morning to report that new bracelet that I did not tell you about,
yes,
has been lost somewhere in this house. And I think it's karma reaching back to bite me on the ass.
Well, you can say it's karma. You can say it's God just paying you back for not honoring your husband. Because, we discuss every single purchase that we do together. We're one of those Christian couples that like to share.
Okay, all right.
I actually almost said that with a straight face.
Yeah, that's not the way it works in our family.
It's not, but we try so well. But anyway, back to the reason why we're doing this in the first place. I thought it'd be fun to get some podcast equipment. So on our anniversary last year, was it? Was it last year?
It was.
It was last year. So for our anniversary last year, if you don't know my wife, and the one fan who is watching this does know my wife, but if you don't know my wife, she loves stand-up comedy. She absolutely loves stand-up
It is
comedy.
my love language.
For our anniversary last
stand-up comedy.
You love comedy, and who are some of your favorite stand-up comics?
Nate Bargatze.
We do love Nate.
Gaffigan.
Yes, you love Gaffigan.
Seinfeld, of course. Classic.
But I like to read Suzanne's
Kathleen
books.
Madigan.
Suzanne's books are all written by comedians. I mean, literally, that's your bed. You have Paul Reiser to Jim Gaffigan to Kathleen Madigan, all these kind of books. But anyway, so for our anniversary last year, we actually went and took a stand-up comedy class, and that was a lot of fun. It was something where we went for 5 weeks, and 20 people started out, and then they had a show for us, and Suzanne was named the headliner of the show. And what was funny was about 10 people dropped out. A lot of people didn't
How
signed
many
up for the class.
started? I mean, how many think?
I think 20 people started and about 10 made the final show, and you were the headliner. And then the most fun thing was on our anniversary, we actually we went to the open mic night down at Crackers, and we both did a set, and they let us, it was fun because they had about 20 comedians before us, and all of our friends came, and
they loved us because we bought out the place.
Yeah, that's true. They invited us back. And what was funny was...
And could you bring your friends?
Yeah, and the guy who actually invited us back said, can you guys come back and do open mic nights more often, and you can bring some more friends, and we're married. We have 3 kids plus a bonus daughter that my oldest son, you'll learn about all this, but our oldest son got married, and she's by far our favorite child.
Well, yes, she definitely claims that, that she's our favorite child.
Well, she is our favorite child.
She's
and the good news is, out of our 3 kids, the one that got married is the one that we wanted to get rid of. Because
Initially, yes, and now he has returned.
he has returned. And one of the things, like, we're going to talk over this podcast. Hopefully, we'll do another one if we don't get in trouble. But we love our kids.
They were wanted.
We love our kids.
They were very much anticipated.
You just get to our age where we don't want our kids to leave the house. We just want all their stuff to leave the house, because our kids seem to accumulate a lot of stuff. And so the one that had the most stuff was the one that got married, and now he has his own house. And
I am
most
secretly,
of his stuff is over there, and we're still moving some stuff out. So
yeah, today he took some stuff too, and I was happy about that. But it's not enough stuff.
Okay, so back to why we're doing this. So we did the stand-up comedy thing. We had a great time doing it. You were great. You were the headliner. Everybody loved you, which is kind of the theme of our friendship. Like, everybody, like,
What do you mean?
because we'll talk about this at another episode, but you are a classic.
You got a lot of stuff you're putting on the back burner there.
You are a friend stealer.
Oh, that is a lie.
Every single one of my friends, like these are real good friends of mine, like good friends of mine. All of a sudden they meet you and they're no longer my friend. You're their friend.
No,
You stole
weren't their
my friends
friend.
Scott and Brad, both of them. Have you on text? Like, you're on a text message string with them that I'm not even on.
That's just
My friend
for
Amy,
safety.
you stole Amy. Like, Amy was my Zumba instructor. My Amy, like somebody who was motivating me to get in great shape. She gets a pool. Who does she invite over to the pool? Not me.
Well, that would be weird.
That's
of
not
course,
really
she
that weird.
invites me.
All my friends, Carla, Michelle, like my best friend from college, stole her. And even this past week, some of my people that I work with said, "Oh, I can't wait to meet your wife." And inside, I was like, "No, I don't think so.
You don't want me to meet the people that you work with?
I don't think so." But anyway, so last year
'Cause
on
I'm a friend
our
stealer.
anniversary, you are a friend stealer.
Okay.
Last year on our anniversary, we went and did the stand-up night. They asked us to come back. Said, "Oh, you guys can come back." And there's no way that the two of us can figure out the time to go to a comedy book club.
Well, it's
on
way far
Thursday
away.
nights. Suzanne, you said you didn't want to go downtown.
downtown. My goodness.
Anything south of like 116th Street is the hood to you.
Oh, it's
So.
just parking and one-way streets.
I will tell you though, Indianapolis has some incredible comedy. They've got the Helium Club. We really like Crackers. There's some really good comics here, thanks to Bob and Tom Show and those guys who work there and stuff. So there's a great scene here, but we've decided to stay here at the Stewart Farm in our own place and buy podcast equipment for our birthday so we can spend time together.
Well, you decided to buy podcasts for
Surprise! Happy birthday! So, and it's your color. You look great in black. So we got black microphones and everything. But the way we approach this is a little bit different because, I actually bought a book.
That's so you.
I bought a book, Podcasting for Beginners, and I haven't read it yet.
So nerdy.
This is also so me to actually buy a book and not read it yet, and just kind of dive head first. So here we go.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, as he's hooking up the microphones and all that, I said, did you look? I bet there was a booklet that came with that had instructions to tell you how to do this.
yeah, that's not nearly as fun.
Yeah.
So let's talk real quick. So we've been married 33 years. People who know us, and
That's good.
well, that we met in a hot tub.
Do you want to tell that story?
I don't really want to tell that story, but it sounds really good that we met in a hot tub.
It's a good story.
Okay, so we were on vacation.
Spring break, nonetheless.
Spring break vacation. Suzanne was in high
with
school.
our parents.
You were a senior in high school, and I was in college. I was a mature college freshman, I think.
I was freshly 18.
And I looked across the grass at the Conopoli Shores condominium where both of our parents had places. And I looked and I saw this very attractive girl in a hot tub, kind of from the neck up.
1985.
1985.
Let's just talk about that era so we can think about the clothes that were that were worn
Well,
and the hairdo that was.
Well, hey, I was wearing tennis shorts.
You were wearing mighty short white tennis
Well,
shorts.
John McEnroe was kind of the style then. And so I had the white.
Cute little booty.
Actually, I think they were yellow.
No.
They were white.
It's embedded in my mind like fire.
Well, anyway,
They
so
were
I saw a
white.
cute girl across the grass. I started walking over there, and I used a really proven pickup line to talk to you.
Yeah, never heard this one before.
Do you remember what it was?
Seen a couple of old people.
Well, I was looking for my parents. I was looking for my parents. They were older. So, needless to say, we started talking, and your mom asked a question about where I went to school. And I
Because
said,
my mom's not invasive at all.
no, she's not at all. And by the way, there's going to be a
She has
disclaimer.
great boundaries.
Yeah, we're not allowed to talk about your mother on this podcast until we disable her Facebook because, my Lord. But anyway, your mother asked you a question, said, what do you do? I said, I
Awesome.
go to school. And she said, where do you go to school? And I said, I go to a small Christian college in Oklahoma because I didn't think that anybody would know what Oral Roberts University was. And she said,
Little did you know.
little did I know, Theta Hall kind of lit up and was like, oh, tell me about the school. And so we started talking. And I remember talking. I should say at this time in my life, I really only dated short girls.
Well, you're not a super tall guy.
I'm not a super tall guy, but I dated short girls, and so I'm talking, and you're still in the strong-willed. They may be short, but anyway, you're sitting in the hot tub, and like Steve Thompson, who was your youth pastor at the time, he was
living with us. Yeah,
he was there
on vacation with us,
and I was like, wow, that guy's tall. He's like 6'5". Got out of the hot tub. Your brother, who was only 15 at the time, maybe 14.
Yeah, he was. He was in junior high.
He was kind of tall and lanky. Got out, and then all of a sudden, around the bush came this white, abominable snowman-looking guy. Your dad in a tight swimsuit.
Yeah, it was the 80s, my friend.
It was, and if you don't know Suzanne's dad, his name is Big John Hall, and Big John is singing in heaven right now, and is literally the whitest guy you've ever met in your life. And came around the corner, and I was like, "Who are these people?" Because he was 6'6" or so, and next thing you know, Suzanne starts coming out of the hot tub. And I see these legs, and these long, thin legs came out of the hot tub, and you were taller than me when you came out.
Yeah.
You still got the long legs.
They're long, they're not thin.
But I liked what I saw. And so.
Well, that's nice.
Well, and I think I've also told you that I started wearing cowboy boots.
And standing on books and
one time.
Anything to be taller.
The first time I visited her in church, I was caught standing on a hymnal, so I could be just a little bit taller than Suzanne.
Better.
Yeah. So anyway, we met hot tub. We got 3 kids. You'll hear about the kids.
Took a while.
We have incredible kids. Yeah, we were married for 7 years before we had kids, and we've been blessed with incredible kids.
They are not mainstream kids. They are their own individual on the spectrum.
Yeah, one of the things
awesome
you'll learn
kid.
about us is we have a very positive view of autism. We're blessed with highly functioning, kids are on the autism spectrum, but
they are really highly functioning.
We do not believe, and some of our friends who have kids who aren't as highly functioning. I mean, obviously, we feel differently. I feel differently empathetically with them, but I still believe that God doesn't make mistakes. That our kids are brilliant. Our kids have incredible gifts and skills, and we're made just the way they are. And so we have a real positive view on autism.
Every day has not been the most positive day. Let's not just think that it's all roses and
it's awesome
chocolate. And you travel a lot. Let's just talk about that.
Well,
Let's just talk about how you're not here when all the crap happens.
So another reason why we're actually doing
the fan.
Another reason, are we using the cuss words? Are we going to do that? Are we going to use cuss words?
Are we going to be ourselves?
I guess so. Yeah. So one thing you're going to learn about us, we are Jesus followers.
I love Jesus, but I cuss a little, and that's just the way life is.
Yeah, and Suzanne also found out today that Total Wine had a good sale on. So, so I think
we are being represented today by the Lone River Ranch Water.
There you go. Where there's no product placement. Actually, I could reach out to Ranch Water right now and say we've got one fan. How much? And I don't think she drinks.
No, she doesn't.
No, she doesn't drink. She's a pastor's wife. I don't think she drinks, and
but that's not why.
But I bet Ranch Water would pay some money to get one new
fan,
customer, especially a Midwest fan, because like a lot of the Texans and people who watch Yellowstone, they drink Ranch Water, but like people like our one fan, and we'll tell you about our one fan someday. Yeah, they
Ranch Water drinkers are real Texans.
Are they? Well, anyway, so back to us. So we're on a farm here in Indiana. It is a hobby farm. I wouldn't call it a farm. Because we don't do anything, actually. We don't harvest any animals. All of our animals are pets.
No, in fact, I have received a phone call from more than one time, but it was just recently. My sweet little friend called me and said, I've got a goat that had a hard time kidding this season, and she had a hard time last season, and her partner wants to send her to the.
Go ahead and talk.
to the butcher.
So are we adopting this goat that we're telling
The
me?
goat will be here as soon as she's got a little skin condition. So as soon as
happy
that's
birthday.
cleaned up.
I'm giving you a goat for your birthday.
Well, I'm getting two actually because there's also a baby that's coming.
Okay, so
So we'll be getting a couple more.
So happy birthday. I didn't know about this birthday gift.
Yeah, you're going to have to pay for those, by the way.
I always do. Okay, so anyway, Suzanne said that I do travel pretty much every weekend. I'm home. I try to be home most weekends. That changes during the IndyCar season. But I go out of town tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., so we're spending some time together.
Thanks for telling everybody what time you're going to be gone. I'm going to be here by myself. I appreciate that.
I really don't think our one listener is going to be coming by here at 6 a.m. If they do, make them
a gun.
Yeah, Suzanne has more than one gun next to the bed, so...
And I'm not a bad shot.
Actually, you are a better shot than I am. So, and then I travel pretty much every week for a living. And Suzanne, you were a teacher for a number of years.
Wow, you're really delving into who we were and who we have become.
I think it's important for people to realize.
Yes, I was a teacher for a long time. Middle school, high school, junior high. Yeah.
And you just have this magnet of kids who like you and are drawn to you.
And preschool. I did preschool for a while. Yeah, I do. I can be at Kroger in line and a child from 2 lines over will come to me and want me to tie their shoe when their mother is standing right there, and I'll just do it, But yeah, it is a thing. It is a thing. And I think I've kind of passed it to Jules. I think she kind of has the thing.
So Julianne is our youngest daughter. She is our only daughter. She's our youngest and our oldest daughter. But she is upstairs right now. So if you hear some footsteps coming down the stairs, or if you see her, it's almost her wake up time, because it's like once it gets dark,
it's kind of like a Bigfoot sighting. If you see her in our house, we're like, oh my God, is it a Bigfoot? No.
She's a college kid. She's allowed to kind of have her own world and her own life. But okay, so before we finish, we've been married 33 years.
We've established that. Yeah,
I know, and you are my best friend.
Am I?
I think so. I don't know.
I think I'm the only one that could have put up with you for.
Well, I know that's
years.
for sure. But that's why I'm calling this podcast "Marry Your Best Friend," because I tell people all the time, I was fortunate to marry my best friend, and if you didn't marry your best friend, I think it's wise to make your spouse your best friend, because you can have fun things like this and go buy some microphones and do your own podcast.
Because nobody's
going to
listen to you. When we're dead one day, our kids are going to find these and go, oh my God.
That justifies the entire expense of this podcast equipment.
Okay.
Someday. I mean, Suzanne and I over the past couple of years have both lost our fathers. My dad passed in August, just a couple months ago, and Suzanne's father passed during COVID. Yeah, 2 years ago during COVID. And we both know that loss. And it was interesting because both of our parents, our fathers, both prepared differently. My father,
yeah, you could say that.
My father, when he passed away, had a in the event of file, and everything was in there.
He had it all. He had his
obituary. He had his photo for his obituary. He had a poem that he wanted read when the flag was folded. He had what songs he had everything.
What to do with
where
grandma,
the bank accounts are, what he wanted to do with grandma, how to handle the Army retirement. He had 4 retirement accounts, so he had been planning for this for some time and made it really easy. Your dad,
my dad.
Well, first off, your
lived
dad,
by God's grace.
Your dad had dreamed and sung about heaven his entire life.
He did.
And the lesson that I learned from your dad through all that is that your dad knew that nothing matters on this side of heaven. I mean, he had a handwritten 1-page will.
I think it was on a napkin.
Yeah, gave everything to his wife, which is what I mean. She's the one who deserved everything anyway. But it was just like I bequeathed everything to my wife, Judy.
Well, I mean, it was hard because.
But we had to plan the funeral. We had to plan all that kind of stuff,
yeah.
and it has been hard, and it's hard losing a parent to begin with. But the thing that I thought was great
with your
dad is
like that,
we got mad at one point that he didn't do all this stuff. Like, he should have done a will. He should have done all that kind of stuff ahead of time. But then the realization that he's happy and that your dad could care less about what happens.
Yeah, you just gotta let that stuff go. It's just stuff.
So anyway, the fact that we both lost our fathers, we understand the importance of legacy. So we're not going to leave our kids any money, but hey, we're going to give you one hell of a podcast.
That's right. They're gonna pop popcorn one night and sit around and go, our parents were idiots.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
They were complete idiots.
Yeah.
Full of idiots.
I mean, our kids don't even like it when we take their picture for Facebook or post it. I mean, like they
do
never
not
smile.
tag me.
Don't tag me.
Do not
Don't
tag
smile. They are the
They're
worst.
better than they used to be.
Yeah, the one that's
Married,
is.
yeah.
Marriage has helped him, but
our marrieds are good. Thank you to my daughter-in-law.
that's why she's our favorite.
To bringing him into the fold of, I don't know. It's just better.
Well, so tell me real quick before we hang up. You don't hang up a podcast. You stop a podcast or you end the video.
You are so old.
Hey, I still say Rolodex, and like
and
most of the people on my staff
you
have
watch
no idea what
reels from Facebook. You don't even have TikTok.
I don't know what TikTok is, but have you seen the videos on?
Best.
But have you seen reels on Facebook?
Those are old TikToks.
No, but you don't understand. They're just videos on Facebook called Reels. They should do like a whole social media platform just with that.
Okay, he has a real job with important people. Just disregard.
Anyway, so we're gonna do this. Hopefully, try to do it every week. Get together, have a little conversation.
If he's home every week.
Oh, I'm doing it. So,
are we being done here?
Well, we're kind of wrapping it up, but I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
You think we're funny?
I do. I think we're funny.
I think it's sense.
I think I'm funny. Do you think I'm funny?
I think you're very funny. But I think that's why we've been married 33 years, is because I do think you're funny. And for some
I
reason,
think other people think I'm funny.
Yeah, you are funny. But who are some of your funny couples that you like? I mean, like, think about couples.
What kind of couples? Like people we know?
No, like famous people. Like, who's your, like, what
famous people?
What couples would you say are funny?
Well, you know, I watch a lot of TV.
I do.
I watch a lot of TV.
It's one of your love languages.
TV is more than a love language to me. It's like it's almost crossed the line. Like I have to really think about how much TV have I watched today. I love it, and I love comedic TV, and I do love certain sitcoms, and I love old sitcoms. So I love George and Gracie.
Oh, you
know,
do?
I do. I love them. I think he was an amazing straight man for her. I think she was brilliant in her. She was not stupid. She was incredibly smart, and she was point on for her.
Well, the good thing about George
timing.
and Gracie, though, Gracie had a straight man in George Burns.
Absolutely, he was completely her straight man.
Now, I don't really
set her jokes up perfect. You know.
Do you think that? I mean, we both did the stand-up comedy thing. Where I did it, my little bits were horrible. You did it, everybody loved it.
They were not horrible. I was just better.
Okay. We might have to battle on that. But anyway, do you think a stand-up comedy would work if it was a husband and wife sharing the microphones?
I do, because it's been done before. Yeah.
Who?
Well, George and Gracie.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Watch the.
What about modern times? Is there anybody who's doing it now? I mean, Kathleen Madigan doesn't bring out her husband.
No, well, she's not married, so
well, that would have been really
important. No, but I do think.
But like most comedians use their spouse as the butt of their jokes.
Yeah. Well,
Nate Bargatze does it. Jim Gaffigan does it.
Ray Romano does it. You take it from your home life and you make what is very.
So if two people
boring, you make it funny for other people, because that's what. If they don't live that kind of life, it's funny.
But would it ruin the illusion if you had two stand-up comics both talking about their spouses separately? Like if I did the comedy act and I was talking about my wife, and then you went up there and did your thing, you used me as fodder. Would it be?
I think if we did it together and we bounced off of each other, it would be fine. I think if you went up there and talked about me and I went up there and talked about you, that it wouldn't connect.
I would never make fun of you.
Whatever. You make fun of me every day.
So what other funny couples do you like?
Go back, and I think Ray Romano is hilarious because he talks about his spouse. And then when he went into television, the character of Deborah was based on his wife in some sort. And that to me is funny because the stuff that they talked about is stuff that every couple deals with, you know, sex, kids, family, in-laws, all those things. And I love that. I don't know. Who do you think is funny? I think Lucy and Desi were funny. I think he was the straight man for her. Yep. You know, he was the brains behind the show, but she was the talent. You know.
Well, I'm not a student of stand-up comedy like you. I don't like comedy as much as you do. When I did the class with you, I did that as an act of love and going and like
You signed us up without my knowledge.
I did because I wanted to do something fun, just like I bought this podcast equipment. But when we went into that class, there were 5 classes. The very first one was on the history of comedy, and they went from like Richard Pryor to George Carlin to, and you're taking notes. You're like recording it. You're taking notes. You're like, oh, I love this bit.
Love
what
that
about
stuff.
this Sinbad? And they talked about everything from back of the
Joan Rivers, everybody. Yeah,
they went through it all.
Fantastic.
Meanwhile, I ordered like DoorDash, and I had like a 6-pack of beer.
Drinking beer out of your.
Oh, I took a growler. Yeah, I took a growler.
growler.
Yeah, but and then we had to actually come up with like 1 minute of material. And
honestly, I was really stressed out. Like that was one of I don't know if I could do it.
You're making noise over there. The microphones can pick up you slamming the desk there. So
I didn't know I was doing.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to learn not to do that. We're gonna learn how to do a lot of things.
Rules in this thing.
Well, and
I don't like rules.
The truth of the matter is, we have no idea if this is even broadcasting right now.
We have no idea.
I don't know if anybody's watching because we hit the button and it says record right there, and I don't know if it's broadcasting or not. But the whole goal is we're gonna record a video. So the way that I'm strategically doing this is that we're gonna record a video. I'll pull that audio track, and the goal is to then edit a podcast that we can listen to. And
so you have to go back and edit this?
Well, I don't have to. I could just upload that file, but at some point...
So you could just say all the things that were good about you and just leave all the
I can cut you
stuff
out. It can be Marry Your Best Friend by John.
By John.
Yeah. And you'll be my one fan. But, okay, so...
and this is my life.
We can wrap it up. I'm looking forward to doing this with you. I'm looking forward to kind of through the week thinking of things that I can ask you.
You're being kind of sappy right now.
I'm not being sappy. I love you. Okay, it's your birthday week. The reason why you want to tune in to another episode is to see. You'll find out probably at the same time I will what I gave my wife for her birthday, and we'll see what packages arrive.
Do I like my birthday? Is that what you're trying to?
When we first got together, you made it very clear that you take the entire month of February as your birthday.
Yes, I do.
And then when I told you that my birthday was February the 25th, you said, well, I'll let you have that one day.
And then how about I had a kid born in February?
God did that to you.
God did that to me.
God did that to you.
To keep me humble.
Yes.
They wanted to take him on my birthday. And I looked at my doctor and I said, no, that is my day. You need to find a different day. And so 2 days later.
Oh my gosh. Do you follow me on social media?
Just so I know where you are.
Okay, but so did you see what happened to me yesterday?
Oh my gosh. Are we going to tell this story again? Yeah,
no,
okay.
We're not going to tell it.
No, tell your story.
Well, you mentioned birthday month, and then I said my birthday was the 25th. So
Go ahead.
This. I was literally sitting at a bar yesterday watching. Well, first off, I'm doing a thing right now where I'm not supposed to watch televised sports or any television.
Thing.
Well, it's a 90-day. It's a 90-day deal I'm doing with a group of guys. It's called E90.
How many things you involved with, babe?
We'll count those someday. But one of my 3 men's groups is this E90 group. I have 3 or 4 men's groups.
I don't know.
I have 4.
I think they see you more than I do.
Friday Bible study, Men of Purpose.
I know Dave Calabro sees you more than I do.
I see him too. But anyway, so we're not watching televised sports or any television right now. And so, but I can go to a live event or I can go sit next to friends. And if the TV just happens to be on top of, on the wall there, remember when we went to that romantic lunch a couple of weeks ago and it was during the Man U game. Well, so I went and had breakfast just by chance at the same time that the Manchester United was playing Crystal Palace.
Just so happens.
Mm-hmm. And the gentleman who was sitting across from me at the table, I'd not met him before. He and his fiance were sitting there. And we started talking, and I was trying to figure out some things to say to him. And I said, hey, so what are the sports you watch? And he talked about the Indy Fuel and talked about watching hockey and soccer, and he's a soccer coach. And then he said he liked the Dallas Cowboys. And I was like, oh, I'm a Cowboys fan. I said, I kind of am a Cowboys fan. I grew up in Dallas. He says, well, I was born in Dallas. I said, me too. And then he said, I said, where were you born? He said, Baylor. I said, Baylor University? Like the hospital, Baylor University Hospital right there in downtown? He goes, yes. And I said, me too. And he goes, well, I'm 56. How old are you? And I didn't.
And hone in for this part because it doesn't often happen. Anyway, will lie and lie and lie.
He said he was born in 1966. And I said, oh my gosh, me too. I said, what month? And he said, February. I said, oh my gosh.
But how old did y'all say you were?
You're missing the whole point here. And then I went to, what day? And he said 25th. I said, bullshit. I said, pull out your driver's license right now. And I laid him down on the table, and both of us were born in the same hospital in Dallas, Texas, at the same hospital, same day, same year, everything. We were in the nursery together because this was the day back in like 1973 when I was born. They
66.
Back in those days, they took the babies away from the mothers, not like today where they leave the baby in the fancy hotel room. They took the babies and they put them in a nursery. So I met my nursery brother.
You're acting like you never told me this story. I've heard this story at least.
Have you ever seen
times.
these videos where like the kids who were adopted by somebody, they find their birth parents? I found my nursery brother. Like,
y'all were bros in the nursery.
We were bros in the nursery. We heard each other cry. Somebody could have switched us. Think about that. Think about that. I could have been raised in Southport on the south side of Indy too.
Wow.
Actually, he's from Columbus. That would have changed everything.
But you weren't.
I wasn't.
And so here we are.
And I kind of look like my dad, so
a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of think I'm his. But anyway, I look forward to you joining us. Join us next time.
Hope we didn't lose you in that.
Hey, I will tell you this. If you are still watching this video, if for any chance you're still watching this video, I think Suzanne should bake you something.
Oh.
I doubt anybody's
Don't
watching.
be pimping me out like that.
Your bakery is pretty awesome. You are a pretty good chef.
I did lose today.
What did you lose?
I lost today in the chili cook.
Oh yeah, so we had a chili cook-off at church.
I did.
Today.
I lost.
Well, first off, I don't think you're
a real
loss.
blow.
No. If we were in Texas, your chili would have won. People in Indiana have no idea what Texas chili is, and you had brisket in there.
I don't know.
These Midwesterners, they put
that
noodles
chili
in their
that won. They didn't though. The
chili that won. I'm not going to
good.
mention her name. The chili that won was a recipe from the Pioneer Woman.
Yes.
So is that real?
That's
I don't
Oklahoma. Yeah.
But that's somebody else's recipe. You made your own brisket chili. You smoked the brisket. You made it a Texas without beans, because people. First off, if you are calling something Texas chili, it does not have beans. So you had a good Texas brisket chili. It had a little
beans
kick
in
to
your
it.
chili is blasphemous. Yeah, absolutely.
But at a chili cook-off, you might as well just open a can of chili and pour it in a pot if you're just using someone else's recipe.
Well, no, that's not true.
Well, I think it is.
But I did lose today, so I have had a blow to my ego.
Now, the woman who won the fan favorite, though, not the judge's favorite, she deserved to win.
Absolutely.
She brings joy to everything. And I think she could have just mixed up some like Alpo dog food and like blessed it, because she's that kind of Christian.
She's sweet.
Yeah, she makes everything sweet.
She's pretty awesome.
Anyway, we're going to wrap it up. This has been a waste of 30 minutes of your time, not of ours. But someday our kids are really going to love it. And
at least we hope so.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks for listening. And if you've made it this far, we owe you something. It may not be a baked item, but we'll owe you something. But thanks for joining us.
I do make good pie.
And hopefully we'll do this again next week. Just remember, when you say better for worse, better's a whole lot better, isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
I love you.
I love you. I do. We're not going to make it sappy or kiss or anything like that. So
you're such the girl in the family.
Oh, dear God. That's for a whole nother episode, because I'm just glad you didn't say like your favorite couple is Will and Grace. So. Anyway, all right. Love y'all.